Alright, it is a Monday, November the 15th, 9:27 a.m. right before the market open, and this is the main watch list, which hasn't changed very much since Friday. TGZI could be a morning panic bounce play, maybe some kind of uptrending setup as well. If it plays off of VWAP, from what I went through on Sunday, I think I'm probably not going to do any dips under VWAP unless it already had one that previously worked and ended up uptrending, and then I'm in at the second or maybe the third one. I don't want to try the first one like I did with OCSC anymore, because it seems like there's a high probability that some of them do not work out, and I obviously want to be in setups that work out more often than not. INND could be like a reversal setup at any point, but I'm going to be very cautious with this one because it does kind of trade depressing. So with all of that in mind, it could still be something. I wouldn't want to trade this for a morning panic bounce play because it's way off of its highs unless it breaks this 12 level and it does something super clean. Otherwise, I'll probably just be more interested in some kind of a reversal setup. AABB could do some kind of a breakout setup over the high right here, or it can be a morning panic bounce play as well. It could be either one. RGBP could be a reversal setup, but it could be like INND, and it just has more room to downtrend too. So I'm going to be very cautious with that. Again, this would be something that could do something off of VWAP, and I'll just wait for the second one. HYSR could be a morning panic bounce play. IQST is a recent runner. It ran before, but as of right now, it did trade with a lot of volume. This thing could be something off of VWAP maybe. I'm less inclined to trade it. I will focus on morning panic bounce plays because that's what I think I do best. IOUS could be a morning panic bounce play as well. Yeah, it looks like it was trying to break out, but that was just pre-market action. It could also be a breakout setup, but I'd rather trade this as a morning panic bounce play if it has one and it looks clean. Alright, it is 9:36. I think I just murdered this trade, but I don't know how much I made. I haven't looked yet. I sold in two pieces. I sold 500 shares at 26. Probably left a lot on the table, as I normally do, but I sold 500 shares at 26, and I did sell 1,000 shares at somewhere in this 25 level when it was at VWAP. This one was a very choppy morning panic bounce play. There's a lot of people still holding 26, so maybe this thing can really make a move towards the upside. It wasn't a considerable drop. It dropped from 26 to 25, so that is about 4% actually, so the range wasn't really that nice. Yeah, I went from saying right now I think I murdered this setup to I think I left a lot at the table, but that's fine. I did feel a little rusty being a Monday, but let's just see how much I made here. I made 19 bucks. This was a morning panic bounce play. At first I wasn't sure if I got executed or not, but this looks kind of choppy. Damn, but I was in at 933, which was this candle right here. So we had this drop. It looks like it makes a bottom at 25.10, and I thought, all right, it might try to come back to this level. It did try to uptrend, as you can see. You got the 25.6 by that wick, and I thought it could maybe try to come back near the low, as I've learned before. I threw in an order at 25.2. I did get executed, and it was scary because it did break below this baby range here, but it didn't break 25, which was just a nice round number, a key support level, and there was a wall of bidders at 25, so it wasn't just some arbitrary round number that isn't actually going to hold. And I was risking 245. I did trade what was ultimately like a $370 position, and I did sell most of my shares at 2551 because it was so choppy. I was just afraid that the thing was not gonna be so nice, because that is some crazy price action. I sold at 935. It was so right here, this candle 935 actually, when it looked like it was gonna turn around right at the new minute. So honestly it was a sell here, but just barely. At 2551 was where I sold most of my 1,500 shares. I sold 1,000 shares, and then the last 500 shares was at 26 flat, and that was at 936. So I sold some here, most of it here, and I did sell the rest here, and then my buy was at give or take right here, at 933. Cool. I was also looking at TGGI. Looks like this one did actually make a move, but this one was uglier than ILUS, so I didn't. That is what I traded, right? No, it was AABB. Yeah, this one was pretty ugly. This one was ugly too, but that's the one I traded. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm pretty rusty today, but that was a pretty cool trade that I took there. HYSR. This one is not bad, 72 to 76, but this one was choppy too. It did make that bottom here at 934, and it did come back to the bottom or just slightly above it. The thing I went over Sunday, and this one did offer a move. I'd probably be selling now because of how choppy this one is and the volume isn't really there. INND, what's this one doing? It isn't doing much. And IQST, although this one kind of offered a move, I didn't have any interest in trading it because it was only up one day. But in theory, this thing can have its second day, and anybody long here was pretty happy at 59. ILUS is uptrending. It didn't do much for a morning panic bounce play, but it is trying to make a move towards the highs, which is cool. There's going to be a lot of people covering if they're gonna break past this level. I almost want to redo the video because I just feel like I'm so rusty, but these are my genuine thoughts. That was my trade with AABB. I'm just gonna probably just take things a bit more cautiously, maybe if it comes back to the bottoms, but with this price action I'm just probably better off not trading it. TGGI could also do something like that too. It went from 19 to 21, so what is that? That's like 10%. Yeah. Alright, well, I'll make an update later. I'll probably just really look at all of these stocks and try to get some clearer thoughts, but yeah, I did feel a bit rusty in my trading, but I actually didn't do anything too bad. It did get the 265, which would have been cool, but I don't mind the way I traded that at all. This thing is very jumpy, but yeah, I'll make an update later. I don't want to drag this on too long. Alright, it is 12:55 p.m. and I want to make an update. I wasn't really looking at the markets a little too much because of the fact that something just really came up, and as for AABB, if I was looking, I probably would have taken long and potentially a setup right here around this level, because here was a morning panic, here was the bottom. As you can tell, it has fallen a lot since, and this was like a higher low setup. Maybe in theory buy at this 25.38 level, depending on what the ask was at the time. And this is one that didn't actually work out too nicely. It only got to 25 what is this, 25.7 maybe at the high, and it just didn't do anything after VWAP. This one did fail, and then at one point I was looking at this for Ember's head and shoulder, head, shoulder, but I would have had to have been in a lot larger of a size. And as you can tell right there, I have a little fidelity thing. I'm still thinking. When I looked at my balances to see how much I was up on the day, I saw that I was up like $7.10, and I thought, all right, that's fine. Maybe the 500 shares, it's showing that, but it hasn't accounted for the rest of the position, the rest of the amount that I sold, and then it will update. But then I thought, well, it's not like $8.03 like here. It was $7.10. What's the issue with here? Like, is there something up? It turns out that something is up, and Schwab now charges commissions for OTC trading. So what happened was that I made $19, but after commissions, I only made that small amount of $7. So it took a decent amount. It took like $12 away in commissions, and I am very thankful to God that I had like the past 2 weeks trading OTCs, trying to do risk reward, dollar risk levels, and all of that stuff, trading a small size with commissions not being a problem. But and on top of that, just trading OTCs in general with Schwab without paying commissions, especially again the last 2 weeks that I've been trying to work on dollar risk levels. So I think there's two things I might do. I might either, one, try trading Fidelity because they still don't charge commissions with OTCs, but I still need to do research. I think on Fidelity you can't trade OTCs under 10 cents, or maybe I got that confused with another one. I'm gonna keep researching, but I'm either gonna have to do two things. And also I am messing with the platform a little bit, and I don't like, the one thing that is just keeping me from trading on Fidelity is that on their platform there isn't a thing that shows you what is the estimated trade going to cost, at least something that is active as you mess around with the prices like there is on Schwab here. I can click the bid and the ask and the price changes, and that helps you calculate your dollar risk level and trade accordingly. Unfortunately, that's not a thing with Fidelity. So the issue with Fidelity is that because of the fact you don't see that, that's just really not, I think any day trader or anybody who's like a real day trader is going to do dollar risk levels. And for this thing to not have dollar risk levels is just like stupid. I can't think there's another way around it. And I thought maybe I could just do the dollar risk level off of Schwab right here, and then I'll actually place the trade with Fidelity. That could be a possibility. But if Fidelity doesn't allow trading OTCs under 10 cents, then I might as well stick with Schwab. And I don't know any other brokers out there that lets you trade OTCs for a decent amount of $0 of commissions, and I've been pretty spoiled, I guess. If I don't end up trading on Fidelity for the reasons that I mentioned, it's going to really stink. But this could be something where I just turn a negative into a positive, and I can push myself and I can trade a larger risk level like $30. I still made money on a $300 something trade, even with commissions. If I trade a $1,200 size and the setup works, it's gonna really pay off. So I think I might actually just do that. I might have to trade now. I don't know if I should include commissions or not, maybe not, but maybe I can move it up and trade a $20 risk level. If the setup doesn't work, worst case scenario, $20, and then with commissions maybe it turns into a $30 trade, right? A $30 loss, which will be fine. I'll just have to really trade setups that I feel super comfortable with, and maybe it's going to be a push in the right direction, because then it's going to help me be super profitable on the setups that do work out, because I do have to trade a larger size. This is a work in progress. I think I might do that, or I might trade with Fidelity if there is an opportunity to do that. But maybe this is just a step in the right direction to push me into trading more size. I did see this panic here with AABB. I never was interested in it. It was a nice turnaround. At this point, I wasn't even aware of the time, because I was just looking at other stuff, researching different brokers and all of that. And I was thinking maybe if it keeps panicking, it could be like an 11 a.m. reversal setup. I never traded it, and I thought it could be a thing in the future, but by that time it's already 12 p.m. And yeah, that's the thing there with AABB. I haven't really looked at the other ones. TGGI offered a dip under VWAP. Again, I kind of decided not to really trade these because I haven't seen them working. I'd rather just trade the second one. This is the first one, spike. I might have been interested in trading this, although it looks a bit illiquid. But this did go from 20 to 21.8, almost 22, so almost a 10% move there. RGBP, I wouldn't have traded this at all. It looks like it's failing. HYSR, I wouldn't have traded it, except for maybe the morning panic, but I don't know how that was back then. IQST was a nice runner. This one never offered a dip under VWAP. It did have a dip at VWAP, but I don't like it that much, and it did transition from being at VWAP to a floating above it, and that was a move from 68 to 71, so not much range. I wouldn't have traded that, even if it offered something. I just like things that trade off of VWAP. INND is trying to do a reversal day. I just don't like the way it's trading. Maybe it can do something nice, maybe not. And ILUS tried to do that breakout above 50 and it failed. It just ended up being a wick. So I'm gonna keep thinking about it. This could be something where I just push myself and I trade larger size, and maybe I'll account commissions for it too in my dollar risk level, or maybe not. Probably not, and I'll just do maybe $20 and then I'll equal 30 with commissions, like 32. It really sucks, but I am thankful that I even had the chance to trade OTCs commission free for a pretty long time, and tried, in many ways refining my setups and trying to get better. So yeah, unfortunately that might be the case, but maybe it's something I can turn into a positive. And I'm thankful I even had that opportunity, because when I first tried day trading in 2015, you had to trade like $9.95, $8.95 in and out, even for listed stocks. So just something that I've been very grateful for. Staying away from commissions for the most part, but it still stinks, but I think it's a push in the right direction. I might consider trading. I might even trade something today on Schwab with a larger size, and I'll account for commissions and all of that. Trade a higher dollar risk level, and just be really focused on picking the right setups, and also not taking things seriously if it doesn't work. I'll make an update later, but these are my thoughts for right now. Alright, it is 1:28 p.m. I think what I just said recently is going to be relevant in the future. I just looked, and they do say that it is $6.95 in and out, probably for OTC trading on US OTC stocks. And this is like a recent thing from October. Now, I doubt it, but maybe they have already been charging commissions for a while, and I'm just not a part of that commission structure because I made my account before they changed their OTC pricing. So I'm just in with the previous pricing, and I maybe have to sign something, or force me to sign something, and then I have to start trading with commissions there, or maybe they're just about to do it and it hasn't happened yet. But it did not happen. I've had this problem when I first traded on Schwab a super long time ago, like when I again just started trading it, and I just got thrown off because they just had like a fake entry price that was actually not correct. What I was thinking, all right, let me just do like all right, if I'm gonna have to trade a larger dollar risk amount, trade accordingly to a higher dollar risk, let me go ahead and just see in theory what would something like a $20 or a $30 risk would have been on a trade with AABB, the same trade I just took this morning. So then when I put in this chart, it's that $7.10 profit accordingly to a buy at 252, and then the sales were correct. I was just completely thrown off. My entry was 252, but let me explain this. If I do this, because I was trying to get the right amount, 121.97 for the 500 shares plus 243.95 divided by 1500, because that's how much I traded. It would have been impossible for me to have an entry. Does this make sense? This would have been impossible at 2439. That would have been, if I were to have gotten my average price here, which did not happen at all. I didn't get my shares here. I got it at 252 because, you know, that's what it says there, but I was trying to get the right amount. And then, you know, it doesn't help that it says that I made so much more off of the trade because it just calculated a wrong entry price on the platform. Now, as for like bookkeeping and what I'm actually, you know, made on this trade, it's the right number, but this thing was just off, and that really threw me off because, you know, this is the right amount, $7.10. So that means that I didn't trade any commissions. I didn't make 19 bucks on this trade. They just had my entry price totally thrown off. It was right here, but when you do the math with the cost to trade and everything, that was completely wrong. So I actually only made $7.10 on that trade. It's not that I made 19 bucks and it just took away, you know, for commissions. They might be charging commissions at some point in the future, or maybe I'm lucky and I don't have to pay commissions because I made an account before they started charging for commissions. This is going to be something in the making that completely just threw off my entire day because I probably would have been interested in trading this higher low, even though this one didn't work out that nicely. I might have considered this one right here, even though that one didn't work out. I wouldn't have considered any of this because that was a bit too drastic. Yeah, and then I probably would have considered TGGI potentially here, although this one maybe because it is kind of questionable, just because of the fact that it doesn't have much volume. Probably not with IQST again. Yeah, I'm very thankful because that means I don't have to deal with commissions, at least for right now, but that could very well be something in the future, and I'm very happy I had that wake-up call, even though it's not the case that I have to trade commissions, at least right now. That might happen in the future, and I hope by then, you know, I can have more trading with that $8 risk level and continued practice, and, you know, hopefully in the future I can be ready. If not, if I have to really push myself, if tomorrow they charge commissions, that's just something that's just going to happen, and I'll just have to adjust. So I'm pretty thankful I'm pretty thankful to God for this. And I'll make one more update when the market's closed. With yeah, that was a complete just that was dumb. That wasted a lot of time. Just you know, I'll make an update later, but that was definitely something that threw me off. I don't think I will trade with Fidelity because it would be stupid to not have, you know, this estimated cost to help with like dollar risk levels. I'm not gonna be that, you know, gambler who's like, oh, this looks really nice, let me throw $1,000 in this trade. Oh, this one's not so nice, I'll trade a $300. No, I like this so much, trading with a dollar risk amount. So I think any real day trader should be, you know, is pretty much trading like that. Wow, that was a lot. So I haven't had any broker issues like that in a super long time. You know, I'm very thankful that I'm not trading commissions right now, but that could very well happen. And, you know, again, it was a great wake-up call. I'll make an update later to see what these stocks ultimately do. Alright, it is 7:11 p.m. and Charles Schwab does not charge commissions. This trade I have here felt like it was just 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago. I was just completely thrown off, and no way I would have been executed like way down below my risk level. You know, on this morning panic bounce play, the entry price they have wrong, at least in the, you know, in terms of how much the position costed as to when I really got executed, which was 252. And ultimately, although it was a morning panic bounce play, I didn't really take into consideration, although it looked clean, the range wasn't that nice. It was 26.5 and it dropped to 25, so that is like 6% max. I actually did well in terms of the setup, but it just did not offer that much range, and I made just a tiny amount, although this is a very feasible amount to make on a $300 position. I just did not make that much in terms of percent gains. It was totally off in that sense, and I'm very thankful that Schwab does not charge commissions, but that could very well happen in the future, and then I might have to trade, with a larger amount of money, because I don't think I will do Fidelity. That's really the case I'm at. And as for AABB, there's nothing else I would have really traded here. IQST unfortunately failed. It would have been nice if it could have ran, multiple days, and then that could have been a morning panic bounce play. TGGI, maybe I would have traded this, maybe, but that would have been kind of hard. But the opportunity was there, and I was interested in this for sure when it did that higher low. I actually moved a little, but it wasn't that nice. RGBP keeps fading. Nothing here with ILUS that I like. It did try to break the highs. I mean, it did break it. It just didn't do anything else. It just, got rejected. INND maybe could be a first green day setup in the future, like an actual green day where it moves a considerable amount. HYSR is uptrending. That's cool. There's nothing else except for OZSC, and I removed it because it just looked so pathetic on Friday, and then in the morning it looked really bad too. But this one actually made a nice run. If it can run for more days, this thing can be a morning panic bounce play in the future. This one didn't really play off of VWAP. This would have been hard to have been long, but yeah, that's all I have. Just one trade there with AABB and a lot of confusion. I look forward to tomorrow, God willing.